We're having a laugh. My name's Johan. I'm a creative director here. So work with James. So we're sort of copywriter, art director sort of thing, but also my sort of background is a lot of branding, identity creation, things like that. So it's quite a mixed bag. A lot of integrated agencies I've been working at. So it's quite a mixed bag what I do. So from web to identity stuff to other bits and pieces.
It's just looks like a fantastic place. I'd love to go. Want to go and do a course there myself. Yeah. It's hard work. There are times I think, we have had sometimes it's been like, it's late nights and it's quite stressful, but it is really, really rewarding. And that's the other thing I'd say is make sure that you work somewhere with good people. That's really important because it really, really changes your work. What you're able to put out, and also just the fact that you like coming to work every day. They always used to sort of say, I think in advertising people move on roughly every 2 years or something. We've been here for 8, so that's a good sign.
My name's Crispin Heath, and I am head of digital. Yeah. Which basically, I think the more work you put in, the shorter you can get the experience to be. Because actually, on a mobile, actually the least amount of time that people can spend interacting with the better. Unless it's a social activity and you're checking, your social profiles, people basically don't want to use it for more than 20 seconds. So.
It's fantastic. They're really, really good. Not just like obviously the awards and dinners and the drinks and all that crap, but actually it's quite nice. I think what you get is, I have a friend of mine who works at down the road at Goldman Sachs, and he's an investment banker, and he says what he's staggered with what I do is that I'm always sitting saying, look what we did, It's like you start with nothing and you end with a thing. You end with a physical, literally sometimes a physical thing. It could be a box, it could be an ad, it could be a video, it could be a TV ad, it could be a banner. It's actually a thing to show for it. I did that, I did that, and I remember all the stress of this, and I remember all the stress of that. And that's really nice. Don't let your ego go mental at the end of the day. It's really good. You are creative and you're kind of crafting and it's thing, but you're not Michelangelo and you're not Leonardo. It is for somebody, for a purpose, and it has to suit that purpose. If the goal is to get people to pick up the phone and buy a Honda, that's the goal. It needs to do that. It's not about, but the sculpture needs to look perfect in the image or whatever. It's like, well, is that going to help people actually do that? Rampant. I think the days of massive egos and communications and advertising have had their day. The old man win days, that ship has sailed. It's far too busy now, and there's far too many people in it, and the process is far too complicated for that. This is why I can say to all of you, with a holiday period, whatever, just phone agents and look, I'm doing this, I just want to come and wander around, I just want to come and sit, I just want to make tea, because you get your face in, you see what it's like, and you'll accelerate really quickly. And you never know who's going to phone you back. Or you never know 2-3 years later, there's a job there and you've got a contact. They came in. And it shows really good incentive. Seriously, it's one of the biggest pieces of advice that I can give. Do whatever you need to do to just get in there. Once you're in, it's a hell of a lot easier.
No, don't do sustained long periods of making something shit. It's like, no, it's shit quick. That notion with that you should fail fast and generate lots and then hone it down to the product that you make, that's really the way to work.
Awesome.
Not and you take that learning with you.
It's better to live in beta than not live at all. So test things.
My little digibot.
Make things. Let's go and meet some people.
I'm Zeph. I'm a designer. I've been here for nearly 2 years now.
And what's your favourite part about the job?
Probably a cliche, but probably working with people of different disciplines. It's working with people with drastically different interests and talents and skills. I wouldn't lie and said that every day I'm super happy. Sometimes it could be billions of different reasons, but I'm sure that would be the case with any sort of job. But if the wrong sort of things all pile up and add on to each other, you just have a shitty day. I've definitely thought that, but I'm mature enough to know that that'll pass.
I'm Victoria, and I'm a conceptual creative at LBI. I'm a copywriter by Craft. Is that most inspiring ads? I think things that are really social by design that people actually want to get, that want to interact with, like subservient chicken. Every day is completely different,
Yeah.
and you want to have a coffee. But then from there, it can do anything. It depends what you're working on. Oh fuck! I've had like 12 breakdowns, and I'm just joking. Yeah, but you just have to work through it. You just have to break down and fix yourself and do it quickly. Be you. Be yourself. Always be you, because someone's going to love you for exactly who you are. If you have to work late, then once you've left, you've left. And we're always thinking about things, because that's part of us. Our best ideas come in the shower or when we're having a poo. Not really. Please edit that out. That just came out. That was just my brain, my mouth going, and my brain wasn't thinking shit.
Anything. And they get Tim written on it.
I'm Hayley Mills, and I'm a creative strategist intern at CV9. Don't wait till the end of the course to start contacting people. Continually build relationships throughout your course, and genuinely have a keen interest in people. And one of the things I found that when talking to some of my fellow peers, don't go for somewhere because you think of the name first, because you may not be happy with that name or that person. Volunteer and help, because that's what will get you noticed, and that's what will stick out. People by people.
Michael Baylor, I'm a director of strategy here. I've been here for about 6 months. Strategy, I think of strategy as being changing the way people think. And not everybody necessarily sees it that. In agencies, as you have seen, a lot of people who are defined as strategists are actually planners. Whereas I'm more of a traditional business strategist, but I just happen to have done more work in that. If you're not prepared to just sort of roll your sleeves up and have a go, and if you're someone that's come out of a traditional agency environment or come perhaps from a corporate environment and expects to be just kind of, put in a seat and then pointed in a direction. In other words, if you instinctively occupy the place of being a passenger rather than being a driver, then I'd say this is probably a very challenging place to work. I come from a situation where I run my own business with varying degrees of success, I have to say. So I'm kind of used to going, right, what do we do next?
I'm Lee Woodard. I am Client Services Director. No, there's not normally disasters, there's just normally misunderstandings and miscommunication, and then there's normally not enough time. So there's not normally disasters, there's normally lots of small things that add up to things not going always as you would want them to. But if you don't want to do that, don't work in an agency, go work somewhere else. If you just do what a client says all the time, the client one day will turn around and say, why the fuck did you let us do that? That was terrible. I thought you guys were meant to be the experts. The favorite part about working here is, well, considering I'm kind of senior management, my job is quite different. I think at the end of the day, it's still after all these years, grey hair, been doing this 20 years.
Silver Fox.
Thank you. Is that we're still doing new stuff. I remember Justin giving a brilliant piece of advice to a young creative on his team, who he had allowed to do a quite an important film shoot for a client, and it was the first time this young guy had been allowed to run a film shoot on his own. So quite a big thing. And Justin said, I'm going to give him some sage advice before he goes off. And he phoned the guy, and it's Justin. And the guy said, what is it? And Justin said, if you fuck this up, I'll kill you. What's your problem? That's their take on what they think is wrong. So we try and go back to the consumer or the customer or the middle, and then work backwards. And then you end up telling the client they've asked the right question but got the wrong answer. Or
360 people, and then our creative department was 86 people, 21 teams. And I was creative director there, and it was just you spent the day in a room just seeing people one after another. I think smaller, it's a closely knit community, you just know everybody, you work together, it's tighter. The downside with it is that some clients see size as an issue. We don't, because we believe there's a wider group of people out there, but it's fighting that sort of small you're a small agency, therefore you can't deliver for a big project. Mentality. Part of your job is actually, once you've got a good idea, and you'll find this as you go through the course, you're going to have to present this one, every week in a little film or some story, and you're going to have to say why you've done something, why it works. So at some point in the future, every brand will know everything about everybody. They'll know where you sleep, what you eat, what you do. They'll know absolutely everything. So actually what will happen is everything will flatten out. So the only thing, the only advantage you have will be about the one element that you can't computerise and you can't, it's about creativity. So original ideas is the thing. So if you can create original ideas, you'll have a brilliant career. And if you can be open with those, share them, and you'll have a fantastic career. So